You're watching StayWavyTV, your home for non-stop WWE action and fresh waves of wrestling coverage. Slam that subscribe button, ring the bell,
y'all.
and
Let's
ride
talk
the
about
wave.
Bron Breakker's promo that he cut last night, basically confirming that he will be challenging CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship on January 5th on Monday Night Raw, right? So I'm seeing a lot of people say that Bron Breakker's promo was incredible. This was awesome. You know, Bron Breakker's going to be a superstar. What promo were you guys watching last night? This wasn't anything different from a Scott Steiner promo in the early 2000s. Like, and Scott Steiner has said this to Bron Breakker in interviews. Like, you know, Bron Breakker steals a lot of things from his dad and his uncle, bro. Like, it's unoriginal, right? He pretty much gave a Scott Steiner roid rage promo. Nothing different, right? Now, what you guys got to understand is, bro, just because somebody is screaming and cursing doesn't mean that they cut a good promo. That's what Bron Breakker was doing. He was screaming, you know, taking his shirt off, acting like he's gonna rip his head off his neck, just basically doing too much, right? Like I said, copying his uncle Scott Steiner, right? The only, you know what the difference is between Scott Steiner's promos and Bron Breakker? Scott Steiner is actually funny. You know what I'm saying? Bron Breakker is not funny. Bron Breakker is just awkward. You know what I'm saying? Scott Steiner was actually fucking hilarious, bro. Like, shout out to Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. Pause. That's what he used to call himself. He was hilarious, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now let's get into what Bron Breakker actually said. So, Bron Breakker basically called CM Punk a soft-ass B-word, right? He accused CM Punk of trying to break his neck because during the Survivor Series main event, co-main, was it the main event or co-main event? Who cares? During the match, right, there was a situation where Bron Breakker fell on his neck, right? He had to be taken out of the ring so they can make sure he's okay. Luckily, everything turned out to be good, right? So I like the fact that he said that because, you know, that's kayfabe, right? Like, you know, for him to say that, you know, screaming and looking so angry, you would think Bron Breakker really does feel like CM Punk tried to break his neck, right? And he also brought up the fact that in the past, CM Punk walked up to Bron Breakker and said, I would love to see you cut a promo so you can show that you can hang with the big dogs, because when you look at Bron Breakker's career on the main roster, even in NXT, Bron Breakker is not the best at cutting promos, right? It's actually probably his biggest weakness. He's pretty good in the ring. I think he has the greatest spirit of all time in WWE history, right? Dude is obviously in tremendous shape, right? But his biggest flaw is his ability to talk on the mic. You go look at his promos that he used to cut on NXT when him and Carmelo Hayes was going at it, like, crowd would just be dead, bro. Dude's just, you know, not entertaining. Like I said, he's not funny, just awkward, right? Shout out to Bron Breakker for not allowing his voice to crack until the promo was over. Like, I remember when Bron Breakker cut a promo while Seth Rollins, this was before Seth Rollins was injured. I remember Bron Breakker cut this promo and his voice cracked and he sounded like Mickey Mouse, you know what I'm saying? And it was hilarious, bro. Like, Seth Rollins was looking at him like, are you okay? So shout out to Bron Breakker for not allowing his voice to crack last night while he was screaming at the top of his lungs. But I noticed when he was done cutting the promo, when he walked outside of the ring and he still was screaming, the voice cracked. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know if that's an anxiety thing, or maybe that's just how his voice is. But, you know, it kind of sounds like Bron Breakker is still going through puberty. Like, I think his voice is just naturally light, because Scott Steiner has a light voice as well, which is kind of funny. But maybe Bron Breakker's voice is just naturally light, and he tries to talk with a deeper voice than what his voice actually is. Because when you look at Bron Breakker, you wouldn't think his voice would be that light, right? So I think he tries to make his voice deeper than what it is to make himself look more intimidating, because that's what his character is all based off of, right? Intensity and being this intimidating, you know, musclehead dude, you know what I'm saying, that you would see at your average LA Fitness, you know what I'm saying? But the promo was, it was mid. I'm not going to say it was trash. I definitely don't think it was incredible. It was okay. It was average, right? It was a little bit under solid. And I think as long as Bron Breakker keeps doing this, he's only going to get better as time goes on, right? You guys got to remember, Bron Breakker is in his 20s. He's young. He's younger than what he looks like. If you look at Bron Breakker, you would think he's in his mid 30s, but he's actually in his late 20s. I think he's 28 or 29. And he still has a lot of time to grow. Okay. I think he is going to get better at his promos, but I think he should stop trying to be like his uncle so bad, bro. Like, he tries to be Scott. He tries to be Scott Steiner more than his dad, bro. Like, he takes more things from Scott Steiner than he does from Rick Steiner, who's his father. And I think Bron Breakker would be better off suited being himself, bro. You don't have to be your uncle or your dad, because if that's the case, if you're gonna continue if you're gonna continue to swagger jack your uncle, then you might as well change your name to Brock Steiner. And if that's the case, I'm cool with it. But your wrestling name is Bron Breakker, obviously, because you wanted to separate yourself from your father and your uncle. I didn't even know Bron Breakker was the son of Rick Steiner until a couple months ago. I didn't even know, right? So I think he, chose the name Bron Breakker to create his own legacy, and I respect that. But brother, if you're gonna steal all of Scott's talking points and you're gonna try to do the whole thing that he was doing, just change your name to Brock Steiner, and I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Now, also, the fact that he bragged about pinning CM Punk when, let's be honest, bro, the only reason why that happened is because the masked man in the black hoodie came into the ring. He assisted the heel team in the 5-on-5 War Games match. That's why you pinned CM Punk, okay? If it wasn't for that, you would have lost. And if I'm not mistaken, CM Punk already pinned you like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I don't know why you're bragging about that. But listen, man. I think Bronson Reed should have gotten the title match over Bron Breakker. Let me explain why. Bronson Reed pinned Roman Reigns, okay? When you pin a guy like Roman Reigns, who is arguably going to be the last star in WWE history, because when you look at how things are happening, right? Triple H is not properly developing the younger stars on the main roster, right? Bron Breakker is probably the only one that he's really pushing properly. Bron Breakker and Stephanie Valkyrie, right? The fact that Bronson Reed pinned Bron Breakker, I think Bronson Reed should be the one getting the title shot against CM Punk, not Bron Breakker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think pinning Roman is a bigger deal than pinning CM Punk, especially when you look at the guy interrupting the match, right? And the fact that we don't even know who the masked guy is, Triple H basically alluded to us, knowing who the masked guy in the hoodie was last night, and they didn't even, they talked about it, but they didn't fully reveal who it is. That's how you know this show is a joke. This is why the ratings are dropping. This is why people are starting to not watch Raw and SmackDown anymore, because things just don't make any sense. Everything is all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But I think Bronson Reed deserved this title match over Bron Breakker. I do. And it would be nice if Bronson Reed actually stopped Bron Breakker from winning that match against Punk, and then we can get a feud between Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed and LeBron James and Bronny James, right? I think that'll be a dope storyline. But yeah, man, the promo was okay. I was surprised. I definitely was surprised to see Bron Breakker cut a promo, because it's rare, right? Like, you see Bron Breakker cut a promo every once in a while, and I was impressed. Like I said, it was okay. I do think it was a little extra. Like I said, the screaming and the taking the shirt off and the walking around. But you got to remember, that is a part of his character. Like, his whole character is basically this super intense, roid rage dude. But it was okay, bro. Stop overrating it. Stop glazing. To all of the people that's glazing this promo last night, you're the reason why we continue to get garbage episodes of Raw and SmackDown, because Triple H literally dookies on the plate and hands it to you, and you guys eat it like it's lobster tail. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to start being more honest and being more realistic so we can get the shows and the matches that we deserve. But as long as you guys keep saying, "This is awesome, Bron Breakker, like, as long as y'all keep doing that, bro, we're gonna keep getting garbage. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Bron Breakker. He definitely has improved on his promos. I think he's only gonna get better as time goes on. And listen, man, I look forward to the match between Bron Breakker and CM Punk. Listen, I would love to see Bron Breakker get that World Heavyweight Championship. Let me explain why. There's no reason why a man that's like in his 50s, like CM Punk, that's full of gray hair, has huge bags under his eyes, can barely move around the ring. I just don't think CM Punk should be champion because he's just old. He's old as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's way too old to be the world heavyweight champion. I think there should be an age limit on winning a championship in the WWE. CM Punk is old, okay? I don't see CM Punk wrestling another 3 to 5 years. I think he's going to probably wrestle for maybe another 2 years and hang it up. And I just don't think CM Punk, I think he's way past his prime, bro. And I like CM Punk. I think CM Punk cuts great promos, has one of the best theme songs in WWE history, has a great finisher. But, bro, the guy's just old and slow, bro. You look at that match that he had with Jey Uso for that title, bro. CM Punk is just like, bro, like he is. It hurts to just watch CM Punk wrestle these days because he is just slowed down so much, man. So I am expecting Bron Breakker to beat CM Punk for that title, and I think Bron Breakker brings more value to that title. You know what I'm saying? And listen, I think Bron Breakker has the potential to kind of have a Batista World Heavyweight Champion-esque run, you know, and for me to say that, because I'm not a fan of Bron Breakker, but for me to say that is me giving Bron Breakker his credit. When you think of a World Heavyweight Champion, right, the first wrestler that you think of is Batista. And I think Bron Breakker, when you look at his character, when you look at his in-ring skills, he definitely has the ability to have that type of World Heavyweight Championship run. So I hope he beats CM Punk on January 5th. And I look forward to it. So with that being said, man, it's your boy Wavy, StayWavyTV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, share the video, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Did you guys, let me know what you guys think about Bron Breakker's promo. Rated out of a 10. Tell me if you think it was good, solid, trash, mid. Let me know in the comment section. It's your boy Wavy. I'm out.
Yeah, lights on the pavement, gleam, waving the lens so clean. City in the back while I chase big dreams, frequency high, that's a stay wavy thing. Ride with the vibe, let it roll like the tide, new scene every time that the beat collides, happening.